Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra ji, Chairman, Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Respected Dr. Mrityunjay, former Director NIAP and former National Director NIAP. Our special guest, Mrs. Jha, joining online. Respected Dr. Pratap Singh Bilthal, Director NIAP. Senior officers, directors and dignitaries from ICAR and Delhi-based institutes of ICAR and other national and international institutes who are joining us online and offline through Facebook as well as Zoom. Distinguished professionals, esteemed guests, all my present and former colleagues from NIAP, ladies and gentlemen, attending this meeting online, offline, Zoom, Facebook, all. It gives me immense pleasure in wishing you all a very good morning and hearty welcome to NIAP for the 32nd Annual Day celebrations, along with the 16th Jha Memorial Lecture. We are indeed honored with the presence of Dr. P.K. Joshi, key speaker and chief guest of 32nd Annual Day celebrations amidst us. We offer our heartfelt and fraternal welcome to Honorable Chief Guest with a small gift that grows. I request members of the audience to join their hands and welcome him with a big applause. Continuing the spirit, we extend a hearty welcome to Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Chairman of today's function. In keeping with the same spirit, we extend a warm welcome to Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra ji, our guest of honor. We request everyone to join. We are indeed honored with the presence of our beloved former director as well as National Director NIAP, Dr. Mrityunjay ji. Our heartfelt warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you very much to all of you for joining us in welcoming our guests on the dais. Lighting a lamp is considered to be auspicious and sacred act in Indian culture. It is believed to symbolize the triumph of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and good over evil. Lighting a lamp is also believed to bring positive energy and good luck to the surroundings. So, keeping this faith on the Indian culture, to inaugurate today's 16th Professor Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lecture and 32nd Annual Day, I request the dignitaries on the dais to please lighten the lamp and bless us. Just to give a brief on this Jha Memorial Lecture, NIAP, earlier called NCAP, was seeded and planted by late Dr. Maji, who was the founding director of NIAP, And this auditorium where we are sitting is dedicated to him for his hard work and endless efforts for giving birth to this institution. Later, Professor Dayanatha Jha, a great institution builder, nurtured NIAP from its infancy to childhood. He used to value intellectual capital alone and nurture it through a perfect blend of traditional as well as contemporary ways and means for the comprehensive development of NIAP as well as agricultural research fraternity. He started this tradition to celebrate NIAP Annual Day on 2nd May with a guest lecture from a very distinguished economist who can significantly contribute to the value creation process, and fraternity can be benefited with the presence of well-equipped professionals. We miss him a lot on this day. Therefore, this guest lecture on annual day was dedicated to Professor Dayanatha Jha, and we continue to celebrate this lecture, guest lecture on annual day as Professor Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lecture since 2008. So, like to elaborate more on this journey of NIAP from NCAP to NIAP, I would like to invite Dr. Pratap Singh Bithal for the welcome address and the NIAP contributions and achievements to the agriculture.
Suprabhat, Namaskar, and a very good morning to all of you, and a hearty welcome on the occasion of 32nd Foundation Day celebrations of ICAR National Institute of Agricultural Economics and Policy Research. First of all, I, on behalf of the faculty and staff of this institute, I extend my heartfelt welcome to our dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I'm highly grateful to Dr. P.K. Joshi, former director of this institute and former director of IFPRI South Asia office, who has a long-standing professional and personal relationship with Professor Dayanatha Jha. And when I asked him to deliver the lecture, initially, of course, he was hesitant, but ultimately he agreed to it. So thank you, sir, for being with us, and we welcome you from bottom of our heart. I extend my welcome. I think Professor Ramesh Chandra joined online, to Professor Ramesh Chandra, who was supposed to be here, but because of he is in Holland today. So maybe there is a difference of time gap. He assured me that he will join online. So then our heartfelt thanks to our beloved Dr. Himanshu Pathak, secretary there, and DG ICAR, for taking some time out of his busy schedule. In fact, we had to start this function at 9:30. Around 9 o'clock, I got a call from him because this position is like that only. He may be demanded anywhere at any time by the minister or something. So he said that you go ahead and I will join later. But now just we were about to start, then I got a call. I'm reaching in 15 minutes, but it is in 10 minutes. So I welcome you, sir, on behalf of this our faculty. And in fact, your presence here to this economics fraternity is a source of motivation for us to do good work in the agricultural economics and policy research. Friends, Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra, you are very well aware of him. He never missed the annual function of this institute. Now he is currently chairman of the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Authority, Government of India. Sir, first of all, we thank you for joining this post, and we welcome you on this occasion. And the guest of honor for us. A pleasant surprise. We sent an invitation to Dr. Matyunja, and he replied, okay, congratulations. We were not aware of his presence. And when I came here just to see that he was sitting there. So Dr. Matyunja, you are also aware, he is also the he is a former director and of course the national director of ICAR-NIAP. If you welcome you, sir, for being with us. In fact, he has a meeting tomorrow, and keeping in view that today is the annual day of NIAP, so he preponed his visit today. So we welcome you, sir. We are extremely welcome to you on this occasion. Well, friends, Dr. R.C. Agarwal, our DDG, he is not today with us because he has also informed at the last minute that he had to go to Chennai for some urgent work. He has always been an immense support to this institute in his capacity as the Deputy Director General. Well, friends, I take this opportunity to welcome our guests from the sister institutes from ICR who are with us on this occasion. My special thanks are to our friends from CG centers, of course, many confirmed, but it is only Dr. Ranjita Pushkar who turned out to be with us on this. Welcome, Dr. Ranjita. We have with us, of course, the friends, Professor Dayanatha Jha from Institute of Economic Growth, Dr. Alka Singh from IRI, and our own colleague, Dr. NP Singh, who is now member CACP. Welcome to all of you. And several of the guests have joined online, and I was informed that family members of Professor Dayanatha Jha, they are also joined online. Extend and hearty welcome to all of them. Friends, it was on this day, the 32 years ago, that for the first time in the NARS, National Agriculture Research System, an institute was established to exclusively cater to the needs of economics and policy research in the National Agriculture Research System, particularly in the ICR, with a mandate of providing feedback to ICR and on the impacts of technologies and inputs feedback to policymakers for effectively managing the emerging challenges and opportunities in agriculture and allied sectors. Over the past 32 years, this institute has made significant contribution to the growth of agricultural economics and profession. We are proud of the fact that during the last 3 decades or so, this institute has striven to live up to the expectations of its sponsors. In one of our QRT, chairman of the QRT, Professor V.S. Vyas, he has commented there that the institute has come to the expectations of its sponsors. Now it has to go beyond that. So, and now, of course, we are reinventing the wheels. We are keeping ourselves abreast of the latest developments in agriculture research and economics research profession. So we have been operating a network project on contemporary issues in Indian agriculture. It involves 15 ICR institutes and state agricultural universities. Primarily focuses on the methodological aspects of impact assessment of technologies and policy interventions in a project mode. We also work closely with the CGIAR institutions and also, of course, with the private sector on several of the issues that are confronting Indian agriculture. We have also in-house launched some projects, particularly some innovative projects, I will say, on some niche areas, particularly payment for ecosystem services, which is, of course, becoming the need of the hour for repurposing the agricultural subsidies for a benefit for protecting the environment. Likewise, we are also have a project on looking for the alternatives to the minimum support prices. Outlook modeling, of course, our DG, earlier DG, Dr. Mohapatra, and now Dr. Pathak, they also keep on asking what will be the demand for food grains by 2047. So we have also started this some exercises on outlook modeling, price volatility, governance and reforms, fertilizer imbalances. That is again a very important issues because I think after more than 90% of the fertilizer used in the country is concentrated in 50% of the districts. So what could be the reasons for this kind of regional imbalances as well as in the imbalances in the nutrient intake? Again, a very innovative project, particularly the grassroots innovations. A number of farmers have come up with the new kind of technologies or interventions of their own. So we are looking into some of those aspects, what kind of innovations they are, how they have benefited and how the society has benefited from those kind of innovations. And more importantly, of course, there is no doubt that we have reached a target of $50 billion of exporting agricultural commodities. Now the target is reaching to about 100 billion in another 5 years or so. So we are also looking at that. What are the export possibilities of agricultural commodities? What are the import substitution possibilities? Because there are a number of commodities that we can grow here in the country, but still we are importing that. What constraints that? How we can improve the competitiveness of our agriculture? So recently we have started a policy lecture series from January onwards, inviting the eminent economist and the policymaker. The first lecture was delivered by Professor Dayanatha Jha, and the recent one, it was really very wonderful lecture on unlocking economic potential of geographical indicators in agriculture. At the head professor and head of WTO center at the Institute from Foreign Trade, Professor Vijit Das, delivered this lecture just on 28th of the past month. Sir, although we are small in number, but I hope with our hard work, networking, and support from the council, we will come to the expectations of ICR and other organizations. Once again, on behalf of the entire NIAP fraternity, I express my sincere gratitude to the dignitaries and all our valued guests to be part of our celebrations on Foundation Day. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for the welcome address and presenting the NIAP contributions and achievements to the August gathering here. Friends, we have had 16 Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lectures from very eminent personalities in this domain of agricultural economics from 2nd May 2008. First lecture was delivered by Professor Mahendra Dev, followed by Dr. Ashok Gulati in 2009, then Dr. N.S. Jodha in 2010, Professor Abhijit Sen in 2011, Dr. Desh Pandey 12, Dr. Sukhdev Thorat in 2013, Professor T.S. Pakola in 2014, Dr. Kirti in 2015. Then we have Dr. Ramesh Chand's lecture in 2016, Professor Bhanwala, then Sachin Chaturvedi ji, Dr. Rajiv Kumar, Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog. Then even during COVID, we did not break the tradition, and we have from Dr. Uma Lele in 2020, then Dr. Derek in 2021, and Dr. C. Ramaswamy in 2022. Today, this 16th lecture, we are very happy that we have Dr. P.K. Joshi amidst us to deliver this lecture. I have the pleasure of presenting his contributions and accomplishments to this August gathering. I know he is known to everyone in the hall, but it is customary to highlight the contributions of the chief guest on this day. I quote, Dr. P.K. Joshi, former Director, South Asia, International Food Policy Research Institute, New Delhi, is our distinguished guest on 32nd Foundation Day of ICAR-NIAP. Dr. Joshi's experience in agricultural research, management, and policy spans over 4 decades. He has held several key positions, including Director of NARM, Director of NIAP, and he has also made significant contributions in the fields of technology policy, natural resource management, climate change, markets, and institutional economics. Dr. P.K. Joshi has received numerous recognitions for his outstanding contributions to social science and agricultural economics research. These includes M.S. Randhawa Memorial Award from National Academy of Agriculture Sciences, Dr. R.C. Agrawal Lifetime Achievement Award from the Indian Society of Agriculture Economics. He is a fellow of several distinguished organizations, including the NAS, Indian Society of Agriculture Economics, Indian Society of Agriculture Engineering, and International Society of Non-Science. Dr. Joshi has served as a member of Research Advisory Councils of NABARD, BAF, and several institutes of ICR. He has represented Government of India in different high-level delegations and served as the chairman of Governing Board of SARC Agriculture Center and UN CAPSA. He was also a member of the core group of Government of India's Right to Food and National Human Rights Commission, and also a member of the expert group which was constituted by Supreme Court of India to review the farm laws. Dr. P.K. Joshi had very close professional relations with Professor Dayanatha Jha, which make him a natural choice for delivering Professor Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lecture on occasion of this 32nd Foundation Day of ICAR National Institute of Agriculture Economics and Policy Research. Faculty and staff of this institute feel honored by his gracious presence and eagerly look forward to his lecture on a very contemporary and relevant topic, that is Innovation Policy Connect for Inclusive and Sustainable Agriculture. I unquote. I am happy to request Professor Bithal, Director NIAP, to present this citation to Dr. P.K. Joshi ji on behalf of the entire NIAP family. Now I invite Dr. Joshi to deliver the lecture. Slide presenter. On so he will be sharing this. तो ये आ गया है स्क्रीन पर, उधर आ गया है।
अब इसको आगे बढ़ना निकलिए। Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. I'm very happy that Dr. Ramesh Chand is also joining online. Dr. Ramesh Chand, co-chair, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, co-chair, secretary there and DG ICR. Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra ji, Chairman, Plant Varieties and Farmers Rights Authority, respected Mrs. Jha and family members of Dr. Dayanatha Jha, Dr. Mrityunjay. I'm very happy that Dr. Mrityunjay is here. He is bonus for all of us. Thank you, Dr. Mrityunjay, for joining. And Dr. Pratap Bithal, Director of the Institute, Dr. Ranjita, Dr. N.P. Singh, and Dr. Alka, Dr. Brijesh, and Dr. Raka and Dr. Lakshmi worked together with us when they were very, very early stage of their career. Faculty members of NIAP and IRI, and all the members joining offline. First of all, my heartiest greetings to all the staff and faculty of NIAP for the 32nd annual day or foundation day of the NIAP. I compliment all of you for taking NIAP forward in different ways through your research and different kinds of activities you are taking off. And I am happy that, as Dr. Pratap mentioned, that it has satisfied the sponsors of the NIAP, and for that your contribution is applauded at national as well as at the global level. So I compliment all of you, and I wish that you grow more in future and become a global institution. As you mentioned, Dr. Pratap, that you are small in number, but I always think that small is always beautiful. So you are always beautiful. So be beautiful. Don't increase number, but have the quality of your research. I thank Dr. Pratap Bithal for inviting me to deliver this Dr. Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lecture. I was, as he said, I was hesitant to accept this offer. Always, although this is an honor for anyone to deliver this particular lecture, it was because of two reasons. One is that it is not my, I have crossed that age when the lectures are being given. So in my age, lecture should not be given. This is the, this is the advice given by all of my seniors, that after a particular age, don't give lectures, just listen. So this was one reason that I did not wanted to commit for it. And second was my own health. Suddenly I am having some episodes. So I said to him that if I have that episode, I can miss the program and your program will be spoiled. So though he insisted, no, nothing will happen. It will be good that if you are there. So thank you, Dr. Pratap, for giving me this memorial lecture, 16th memorial lecture. So, we started this, the time flies so fast. We never imagined that 16 years will fly so fast. Dr. Jha was instrumental in shaping the management and research and management practices of this center. He has introduced several best practices which are not in other institutions. That's why it has, come up in a best possible way as compared to many other research organizations. I was so lucky that I closely worked with him since 1977 onward, when I joined IRI. So he was a mentor for me at that time. Although he has mentored several of us, many of us he mentored, and we have tried to come up to his expectations. We used to say that if we are only 5 or 10% of Dr. Jha, we have done. So on this particular occasion, I pay my tribute to him, my homage to him, and I'm so I became a family member of Dr. Jha. Bhaviji must be there, must be listening. They used to consider me their son. So Bhaviji, namaste if you are there, and thank you for your blessings and affection always towards me and my family. Friends, I have prepared a very generic lecture. It's not having any facts, any data, but it's a very generic kind of lecture I have prepared. I thought to share something on Innovation Policy Connect for future of Indian agriculture. This is the topic I have. I thought that I will share with you. It's very generic in nature. Yes. So I start with, we have set several goals and targets at the national level. The first one is we would like to have a developed nation by 2047. So when we say we would like to be a developed nation, we have to qualify certain things. So there are 5 broad things we need to qualify to become a developed nation. One is that the per capita income. We should have a minimum per capita income to qualify the developed nation. Right now, it is around $13,000 per capita of the gross national product. This is one. India is at the lower middle income category at the moment. So we have to go a long way from here to 2047 to become the developed nation to achieve that kind of per capita income. The second is that when we say the developed nation, we should have a diversified industrial mix and a very strong service sector. That is also a qualification to become the developed nation. We should have a strong and developed financial sector and well integrated with the global market, and have a high human development index. When we say a high human development index, it means that we should have good education, health, sanitation, so the water. So all these things should be there to become a developed nation. So at least these 5 things have to be maintained or qualified to become a developed nation. Second is that we have also targeted to become a $5 trillion economy by 2030. Right now we are 5th in the position. We want to move to the 3rd position by having $5 trillion economy after United States of America, which has around $23 trillion economy. It's a huge economy, and followed by China, which is having $17.7 trillion. So we will have $5 trillion. So you can imagine, the big gap between second and third. But even we are trying to be to become that level. And I'm sure that although these are the very ambitious targets, but I'm sure that the right policies and right kind of innovations will reach to achieve these targets and goals. We would also like to become Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-sufficient in all the commodities, most of the commodities. We want to introduce, government is introducing all kinds of import substitution, trying to have, developing the programs which would have a Atmanirbhar in all commodities, including agricultural commodities. Local to global is another, goal we have, identifying niche commodities from the local areas for the global perspective. And next is make in India, to make for the world. Make in India to make for world, basically manufacturing and the processed commodities, not only for the domestic market, but also for the global market. We have few global commitments. The one is the Sustainable Development Goals. We have 19 goals, as you know, that poverty alleviation, undernourishment, climate action, and water, land, partnership, several these sustainable development goals, which we have to achieve by 2030, which we have committed at the global level. Then zero carbon emission during COP26, we have committed that India will have zero carbon emission by 2070. And before restoring 26 million hectare land, which is already degraded through various schemes, various programs, especially the afforestation program. So these are the goals and targets which we have set for us for different stages of our trajectory. So agriculture will play a very important role, very significant role in agriculture will play in achieving all these goals. Agriculture will have, I think, a major share in achieving these goals. But agriculture is itself facing several kinds of challenges at every stage. One is that challenges at the production level. As you all know, that the first is our holding size. Holding size is very, very low holding size. Low holding size, we have on 1 hectare, average holding size is 1 hectare, which used to be 2.28 hectare in 1970-71. If the business as usual goes, if we continue like this, then by 2030, our average size of holding will be 0.75. So we have to see that how we can reverse this process, or we consolidate this process. Land holding, so small holding is not a big problem. Then the fragmented land holding. Fragmentation is a major problem. Or we should have a institutional arrangement of consolidating small and marginal farmers. Now the average holding at the national level is 1 hectare, but if you look to states like Bihar or many of the northeast regions or eastern India, the holding size is very, very low. For example, Bihar, it is only 0.36 hectare. It's so tiny land, it is not viable. So whatever enterprise they take up is not viable, economically viable. They do not have advantage of the scale. The second scarcity problem is the labor scarcity at the farm level, both for harvesting, transplanting, and many other purposes, labor scarcity for the farmers. Degradation of soil and water resources is another big challenge. We have
ये अपने पास रखना और दीक्षिता को फोन करो कि कब आ रहा है.
Have problems of soil erosion, soil salinity, water logging. We have declining water table, water contamination. All problems are emerging, which is affecting our agricultural productivity. Climate change is already, that is taking its own shape and affecting agriculture production and adversely affecting our entire agricultural economy. So these are the challenges at the production level.
ये प्रशांत ने बनाया था ना, मैंने साइन कर दिया इसको.
Market and trade.
और आपने पीएसएम का फाइनल भेज दिया था.
We have a very fragmented
इनकम आपने कर ली थी अपने. अभी 36 का करना है.
Share of farmers in most of the perishable commodities is not exceeding 20%. Rice, wheat, maize, and this milk. I think the we have good supply chains, but not in other perishable commodities. Also, millets, pulses, we do not have good supply chain. Weak market integration, markets are not well connected, but with the development of roads, rural roads, highways, the markets are getting connected. Holdings and stocking is another problem. Government introduced a bill during the COVID period, which was largely addressing holding and stocking, but it was withdrawn later on. There's a high price volatility. When there is little excess supply, prices will crash. If there is a shortage, the prices will go up. So that price volatility is also a different way. And between different months, there is a price volatility. So another problem to stabilize the prices. Rising waste, another big problem. India is generating around 500 million tons of waste, which is equivalent to $13 billion. A huge amount of waste, we have in farm sector. And besides this waste in value terms, it is polluting our air, it is polluting our soils, it is polluting our water. So that we need to see that how we can minimize this waste. There is leakages in social safety net programs, but now with the direct benefit transfer, this is now being reduced. There is a low regional and global trade. Another, for becoming a developed nation, our share in export is only 2%. Roughly 2% is our share, while US has a share of 10% of export commodities. So we have to see that how we can increase our export and become a global partner at the in agriculture sector. Then our challenges at the consumption level. This is another important which we have to see finally why agriculture. Agriculture is for consumption of the food commodities and different activities. So one important challenge is we'll have more mouths to feed. The population will be 1.64 billion by 2047. So we have to have enough food to produce for this particular population, growing population. And also those are coming up from the poverty to middle income, low income group and middle income. Their demand is also rising. So to meet that, we have to produce more. Also to feed the other countries, many of the developing countries, we have to produce more food. The second is food is getting, our diets are getting globalized. We are now gradually moving towards westernized diets, more pizza, more burgers. So these are the, we have these kinds of trend is coming up. And this is because our incomes are rising, urbanization is taking place. The Zomato has made it very easy life. You can order immediately pizza or burger. So, a new format of marketing is coming up, and which we have to see that how we can quickly pick up these changing formats in our advantages. Processed food consumption is also increasing. There's a concern now, consumer is concerned more of the food safety because of the chemical contamination, pesticide contamination, hormones. So they are adversely affecting human health. So that, food safety issues are getting more prominence. New foods are emerging. New foods, there's Impossible Burger. In US, it is very popular, which is not meat, but its aroma, taste, everything is like meat. So new kind of food is emerging. The cloning of animal is happening for food. Animal cloning is happening for the food. So the growing demand for agriculture commodities for alternative uses like ethanol, additives, beauty products. So there are future challenges. So these all challenges are broadly our research areas. We have to have more focus to our research areas so that we can cope up with these challenges. So these challenges we can meet if we have a perfect blend of innovations. I know we have innovation, need-based innovation. We have enabling policies. We have effective and inclusive institutions and a need-based infrastructure. So we need a perfect symphony of these four founding pillars of agriculture. So we can learn this lesson from the Green Revolution. During Green Revolution, There was perfect symphony of these four pillars. During milk revolution, there was a perfect symphony. But if you look to the natural resource management, there is not perfect symphony. That's why the natural resource research outputs are not reaching to the farmers, because the institutions are missing. Institutions are missing. There's a collective action. Several issues are there. So we need to see that how we can synchronize all these four components for the benefit of the agriculture sector as well as for the benefit of the farming community. Now there are unfolding innovations. New innovations are emerging for efficient, inclusive, and sustainable agriculture. So we need to harness the opportunity which is emerging, and how quickly we grab the opportunity will be in more advantageous position. One is biotechnology and genetically modified crops. This is one area which is, can give us enough dividends in future. Cotton is the best example in India, which BT cotton has revolutionized the cotton sector after the introduction of BT. There are studies that globally around 190 million hectare area is under genetically modified commodities, and roughly 1.98 billion people were benefited as a result of genetically modified commodities. United States of America, Brazil, Argentina, Canada, and India, they have around 90% of this 190 million hectare of the genetically modified crops. Largely, these are on soybean, maize, cotton, and canola. We need more on pulses and oilseed. I think if we give more focus, have the GM crops on pulses and oilseed, we can become more Atmanirbhar. Then second is conservation and protected agriculture for efficient use of our resources, reducing the cost and conserving natural resources. Climate smart agriculture, which is not only increasing productivity and farm income, but also it is adapting to the risk of climate change and increasing the carbon sequestration and reducing the greenhouse gas emission. Precision agriculture will become, is a very promising area, which is sensor-based farming is coming up in some of the areas, but not very popular in India, but in Southeast Asian countries or East Asian countries, this precision agriculture is very, very prominent. Vertical farming is multi-tier farming. Multi-tier farming, only one crop. I have seen a farm, small farm, 1 hectare farm, having the protected agriculture and vertical farming, 3 layer of lettuce river has grown. It can be crop plus animal sector. It can be crop, animal, and fisheries. So I have seen long back one, this vertical farming of crops and this poultry, fishery, and also the piggery. So these 3 were there in a vertical farming, and these needs to be replicated because they give high dividend. If they are not being replicated, we need to identify what are the constraints, why it is not happening, what are the problems. So just like we have now apartment culture, so similarly we have to have the vertical farming, which has to be because size of holding is limited. So this can become a promising area for future of agriculture. Hydroponics, you don't need soil, you need water. So another very, very promising area. Then the disruptive technology, the digital technology, has completely transformed our life in our day-to-day life. But in agriculture, it is yet to make big impact. One is the mobile applications and advisories. They are getting important. But the real-time information to the farmer is still becoming difficult. I used to think that how the Google Map is providing real-time service to millions of the drivers at a one time. So the real-time information and accurate information is being provided. So that kind of real-time information, it will require mapping of land and several other things will be needed. So this is one promising area where we can think that how we can participate in this area. The artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and blockchain technology. They are also getting prominence for in agriculture sector. People have already started using these techniques for agriculture. Drones and robotics. So future is of robotics. There are driverless tractors have come. Driverless these harvesters have come. So how we can reduce their cost in our advantage. So for drones and the robotics to make advantage. Remote sensing, optical sensors, and then equipment to monitor. This is another area we have to see. We need to see that how we can take advantage. Perhaps Dr. Pathak is here. We need to have one other institute, one important institute, or we completely change the mandate of the engineering institute so that we can take advantage of the digital technologies. ChatGPT. This is another innovation that will really transform our agriculture sector. It can be used for analytics for prediction, for monitoring of crops and livestock, especially for health purposes. It can be used for precision agriculture, saving of resources. So for various purposes, ChatGPT can be used in agriculture, and we should take advantage of this particular innovation. So these are the few areas I have listed on what can be done in digital agriculture. It can be in the back end. There are several areas in the production system, and while post-harvest, and then in agriculture marketing, this can be used effectively. Social safety net programs. Already JAM is being used for in public distribution system, and which is having made a very big impact using this digital technology. Then agri governance, we can make use of the technology, digital technologies. There are few, I listed the few government programs which have been introduced at different levels. From doubling farmers' income. So several programs that government of India has introduced, but we need to converge various programs. They are functioning in isolation, but we need to see that how we can converge these programs. So we have technologies are there, programs and policies are there. So we have to. So now how to connect these innovation policies? We have, our agricultural economist colleague might have heard this term, induced innovation. So, and if the prices of one input is increasing or the prices of output are increasing, so you do research, you induce for that, do research for that. So induced innovation, we have commodity supply demand gap is inducing you for research for those commodities. We have huge gap or scarcity of the commodities. Biotic and abiotic constraints may be there. And then input output prices, resource availability, access to market. These are the drivers for induced innovation. And the middle blue one is research innovation system, technology distribution system, which is largely driven by science policy and agriculture policy on the one hand. And on the other hand, it's the human resource capacity, the capacity of the scientists, and the science infrastructure. They are very important. So we need to see that how we can have a balance of science policy, agriculture policy, HR capacity, and science infrastructure. Once the output is there, it has to be going to the farmer's field. The speed and intensity of adoption will be driven again by agriculture policies, price policies. Fiscal policies and monetary policies are also influencing the adoption and processes. And supply, demand, output prices, market access, and the taxes are also influencing the adoption and the intensity of the improved technology. Trade policy is very, very important. How we introduce trade policy, which is affecting our agriculture. Social safety net programs are also affecting. So this is the framework, how we connect agriculture policy with the innovations. So what are the drivers for efficient and effective or proactive innovation system? So I have given how the innovation system, what are the conditions for success, and next will be the on the policy aspect. One is we should have a very strong institutional framework of agriculture research system, which we always say about this one. And we should have a multi-institutional, multidisciplinary, multi-stakeholders and inter-ministerial collaboration. So unless we have a multidisciplinary and multi-institutional partnership, I think we will miss the opportunity. I remember that during NATP period, National Agriculture Technology Project period, there is a condition that any project will be approved unless it has multi-institutional or multidisciplinary nature, it will not be approved. So we should think that how we can have introduced this in our existing research system. Interministerial, I was just reading a few days ago that Ministry of Electronics is now thinking to link this chat GPT with the WhatsApp so that direct communication can be made with the farmers. The second is we should have sufficient funding. We always are asking that funding is scarce in agriculture. We have one former Director General and present Director General. They are trying their best how we can increase the funding in agriculture research. But I think to support their hands, we should make a strong case that why we need more funding in agriculture research. We have to fulfill the targets which are set at the national level. So we should, I think this is one of the important priority for NIAP to make these hands of these policymakers strong. Then a strong partnership is important and with global advanced universities and institutions. Another area where we should be given priority. Prioritize our research portfolio and new challenges. What are the new challenges? And changing national vision and goals. Our priority should be national vision and goals and emerging digital technologies. What are the, so that way we should prioritize our research. I think each institution should scientists should sit together, think of these priorities and have a new priority area for future research program. And mechanisms to integrate science, technology, innovation. We develop the product, but it is not converted into technology, not converted into processes, not converted to the business model. Unless this chain is there, the speed and intensity of innovation will be very, very slow. So this continuum is to be evolved at the institute level. That focus to the market-driven and resource conservation opportunity, that should be our, again, priority. Improve system efficiency. If you look to the system, entire system, to improve it, I think the first thing will be the capacity of human resource. That is very, very important. We need a future-looking, talented, visionary, and competent human resource. So that kind of talent we should need in agriculture research. Effective governance, monitoring system, evaluation mechanism is another area. So I think it should be made it mandatory that each program priority should be monitored and evaluated. Though we have the system, but how we can further strengthen the system is to be seen. We need to attract new players. Right now, ICAR and Agriculture University is the only player in agriculture research. So it's kind of monopoly in agriculture research, the supply of the product, research product. So we need more players in agriculture research. So how to attract more players in agriculture research is another area of thing. So this is the drivers for effective policy making. Earlier one was innovation system. This is for policy. One important is political will. Unless there is a political will, we cannot do anything. So political will is most important to address issues in agriculture sector. So we need to convince the policymakers that whatever we are doing is for pro-poor, pro-smallholders, so that they look from the different perspectives. So that is to be captured and should be given to the policymakers. then efficient, inclusive, and sustainable agriculture is one important component which needs to be translated in all the policy dimensions. Macroeconomic policy environment is very, very important. Monetary policy, as I was saying, fiscal policy, trade policy. In trade policy, we do not have enough surplus. If we open our trade, prices rising in the global market, and we are facing the inflation. If we stop trade, it is falling the prices in the domestic market. So we are at the razor's edge in the agricultural commodities. So we have to have a band that up to which band will open trade and close the trade. That band is necessary for making the trade policy effective. So investment in food and agriculture system is important. Right now it is around 9 to 10%. Earlier studies or earlier programs have mentioned that there should be minimum 16% of expenditure in agriculture sector, which is right now it's only 9 to 10%. So that is also to be increased. Then we need to see that effective program which we are making, their action plan, their monitoring mechanism is, I think, is very, very important at the policy level. Capacity to implement, at the top level, there's a capacity, there's a vision. But when you go down at the ground level, that capacity and vision is not there. So the capacity of implementing those programs is also important for the success of achieving to our targets and vision. Regulatory environment is important. And then again, in this one, in agriculture sector, the more players are to be attracted. I have just given 4 or 5 areas where we can have public-private partnership, not in research, but in overall agriculture development. What are the areas where we can have public-private partnership? One is the development of the agriculture markets. Now, this is basically using the model of the highways construction, the way we are constructing highways in public-private partnership, which is on the basis of build, operate, and trade transfer (BOT) model. So that is one area where we can use where we are making the highways. So similarly, we can have agriculture markets using the public-private partnership. The second area is warehouse and cold storage development. This is where we can give long lease of land belonging to panchayats, railways, and also uncultivated land, government land to the private sector. And using this operation management and development agreement is another area. I think that the first time in 2015, the land bill was introduced, which was again withdrawn by the government. It was basically for maybe the purpose for leasing land for having warehouses, cold storage, and also having the food parks. Then establishing food parks and processing sector. For this also we can have PPP on the pattern of airports and ports. We have all airports and ports. You can see that all kinds of facilities are there for different airlines. So similarly, we can have a model for food parks and processing. Then surface irrigation. Surface irrigation based on how we have privatized this power sector. We have the reservoir and canal sector, reservoir, canals, and distributory. So we can have a kind of public-private partnership in managing surface irrigation, which will not only improve the efficiency of the surface irrigation, but also expand the area of canal network. We don't talk much about the canal irrigation these days. We always talk about the groundwater extraction. So we need to focus on this sector. And then attract technology dissemination system for the using the corporate social responsibility fund for extension of the technologies. So what I think that India agriculture 2047, what kind of agriculture I just viewing in 47, it will be maybe the share of agriculture maybe around 5%, or it may be less than 5% share of agriculture in GDP, which is right now around 15%. The share of agriculture will be around 5%. That is why how we become the developed country where we have more industrial sector, service sector, manufacturing sector. The share and the dependency may be around 10 to 15%. So this is one We should see that by 47, this may be there. There may be large holdings or the consolidated holdings. There will continue small and marginal holding, but they will have through institutional arrangement, like FPOs, cooperatives, they will be consolidated, or large holdings, small and one viable units will sell their land and become the large holdings. A boom of gene-edited crops. There will be boom of gene-edited crops in different commodities. So that is another thing which I envision. We will have more specialized farming, less of diversified farming, more of specialized farming and precision agriculture to save our resources. We'll have extensive use of robotics and digital agriculture. This will be, I think, will be there. Integrated value chains, and there will be negligible middlemen. The format of the markets is unfolding. So I think there will be less of the middlemen. There will be direct selling from farmers to the retails. And well integration with the global market, both raw material and the value-added products. Finally, what we need to do, we need to, as I already mentioned, that we need to strengthen and reorient our agriculture innovation and dissemination system. Funding is necessary. Competent human resources important. Adequate research infrastructure. These are the preconditions for having a strong research organization. Reprioritize research. I think this is the time that we delete our routine and irrelevant research projects. That we should take a very strong step that all the routine projects will be deleted. We should have all innovative projects. Evidence-based and foresight research should be introduced. And again, this integration of science, technology, innovation. Grab the opportunity of emerging digital revolution that is to be in favor of agriculture. It's now getting prominent in other sectors, but I think agriculture should also take advantage. And what I'm hearing that agriculture research is already taking a huge step in taking advantage of digital revolution and develop mechanisms of emergence between innovation and policy formulation. Policy must respond to new research. There's always question whether policy should respond to innovation or innovation should respond to the policy. But innovation, the induced innovation hypothesis. In this case, the policy follows the innovations. First, innovation will be there, then policy will be there. But it is sometimes reversed, that policy is there, innovation is following that one. So policy must respond to research outputs. And NITI Aayog and regional committees, we have a very good network. I think they are the best place for such kinds of convergence. We need end-to-end policies, action plans, and monitoring mechanisms. Again, finally, as I mentioned, that we should have new players in agriculture research. Unless we have new players, then we cannot harness the huge potential in India in agriculture sector. So with this, I thank you very much, and I feel that India will be a global leader in agriculture and significantly contribute to export and feed the world. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you very much, sir, for very thought-provoking lecture and giving food for thought to the gathering here and all the participants here. In fact, you have shown like how the 4 pillars can be used for connecting innovations with the policy for inclusive and sustainable agriculture. So I'm sure it will benefit all of us in our future research programs. Publications, as we know, the soul of any research organization. So on this day, to seek the blessings of our authorities, like we would like to have certain publications to be released. So I would like to have, first of all, our agricultural development report to be released by our dignitaries on the dais. So this is the second one in the series. We have two policy papers to be released. One policy paper on livestock farmers' information needs, search behaviors and their impact, lessons for extension policy by Professor Pratap Singh Birthal, Dr. Jabari and Dr. Saxena. Another policy paper on changes in Indian agriculture, household level evidence by Dr. Akash Saxena, Shivin Shrivastava, Balaji Abhimanyu, and Mohammad Arshad Khan. And we have six policy briefs to be released. So one is policy brief 47, to ensure or not to ensure. Then we have policy brief on managing climate risks in Indian agriculture. What do we need to know by Dr. Birthal? Then policy brief 49 on technology and policy options for reducing India's import dependence on edible oils. Policy brief 50 on India's agriculture exports during COVID-19 pandemic and potentials of micro irrigations for sustainable intensification of agriculture by Dr. Sankumar Pandey and team. And finally, an outlook for rice and wheat, long sought after policy brief 2, 20, 30 and 31 by Dr. Kingsley, Dr. Shiv Kumar, Dr. Shiloz and Dr. Suresh Pal. So thank you very much, sir, for releasing this publication. Continuing our program further, now I would just like to request our beloved former director, Dr. Mrityunjay sir, for his annual day remarks.
Yeah, I think this is a bonus. I was called a bonus, and this is a bonus to me. I have not come for any speech. I know Dr. Joshi has reminded again in the beginning that I think we should stop lecturing and listening more than that. Therefore, I have thought that I should come and listen to and speak to you, chat with you. But you gave me an opportunity to speak. Respected members on the dais, off the dais, online. I'm grateful to all of you for your love and affection which you bestowed and bestowing on me right through. And I have already conveyed my congratulations on the occasion of your Foundation Day, which is most auspicious in terms of remembering, recollecting achievements which you have done over the year in the office, as well as there was, I don't know whether there would be a kind of a family get together subsequently today or not. I do not know, but anyway, it was a kind of an occasion to recollect our achievements in the office and developments in the families, because after all, they are interwoven. You could able to contribute to the institute on account of your support from your families, because they are primary, in my judgment, to help you to contribute to the institute, and therefore they should also be remembered on this day when you are recollecting the achievements of the institute. So anyway, NCAP has done extremely well. I think the kinds of publications I have seen, number of them in very good areas, and congratulations to you. And I always tell that I think you are doing extremely well as sponsors wanted you to. And you have created a brand name which still is continuing. But as I always tell, the best is yet to come. So therefore, with this kind of a target in mind, the kind of dream Dr. Joshi has dreamt just now as to what we should do in the coming years in 2047. Lot of dreams he has elaborated, lot of opportunities, lot of challenges. And it is good to see that he is an optimist in terms of telling by 2047, we would be achieving those dreams. I think that is the kind of thing that we should. And therefore, we should all work towards, our responsibilities in these multifolds in terms of contributing to achieving those dreams. So therefore, my job is only because we will not be there, but definitely we will wish you all well to see that you contribute with the support of your families to see that these dreams are achieved and India will remain great always. Thanks. Thanks for your love and affection. I always enjoy. And it is a homecoming, and I have a meeting tomorrow. I got it prepared to see that I should meet all of you, chat with you. That was my aim, not in fact, I requested not that I would be sitting and amidst you, but they forced me as usual. But I have been doing this job for us. Therefore, I was fed up with sitting on the dais because it creates stress. In terms of delivery, because you have a lot of expectations when you are sitting on the dais, and we should meet that expectation. So stress starts. We should have minimum stress at this point of time. But anyway, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your love and affection. I always cherish. It is a homecoming to me when I think of NIAP, think of agricultural economics division, IRI. These are all places where we got mentored, and therefore we should always remember they are our alma mater, they are our source of inspiration and service. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, for your love and affection to the NIAP family and making it a point to be part of this function physically, and giving the lecture also, even though you don't like it to deliver now. So thank you very much. Now a lecture by our guest of honor, Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra ji, who is a renowned figure in the field of agriculture research and education. He is a former secretary there and DG ICR too.
Let me clarify, it's not a lecture, so it's only a remark. So thank you very much. Today's chief guest, Dr. P.K. Joshi, Dr. Himanshu Pathak, secretary there, DG Asia. I don't know, Dr. Ramesh Chan has joined.
No, he has not.
No,
He has not been able.
could not join.
Very early morning.
Yeah. And Dr. Mrityunjay, former National Director in AIP, Dr. Vithal, Director of the Institute, dignitaries of the dais, and Dr. Anil Rai, ADG has joined, and Dr. MP Singh from the Price Determining Authority, determines prices for all of us. And Dr. Vijay has left, I believe. So, and of course, colleagues from CG centers, other institutes, colleagues from the institute. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of you on this occasion of the Foundation Day.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bitful, for inviting me to be part of this program. I have been part of this program for past maybe 7th year, this one. Every time I have come here without any occasion to fail and miss it. And every time you go with messages and many more learnings than what you get on previous occasions. So thank you very much for inviting me every time. I was told that it will be over by 11:30, and it's already 11:25. So, but doesn't matter. So I postponed the meeting. I said never it happens in time. So, and always when we take the podium, we start speaking more than what we are expected. And though Dr. Joshi said that one should not speak, and and also Dr. Mrityunjay advised and preferred not to speak. So
You can speak.
no, I'm also after 60, so cross 60, so I should not speak. So anyway, so on such occasions, it's always a pleasure to listen to Dr. Joshi. So another excellent presentation, Dr. Joshi. So we were, for me, it was another learning experience. Coming from different backgrounds and then listening to the innovation policy interface, and then how best we can make use of these recommendations and new ideas in our policy formulation, so that whether policy induces innovation or innovation induces policy, so both ways it is useful. And we must be really, taking note of all these points for further action. But anyway, several occasions, earlier occasions when I came, certainly, always it is enriching. And thanks to late Dr. Dayanatha Jha for contributing so immensely to establish this institute. And every time I pay tribute to him. And while paying tribute, I always made it a point to, pay our respect to Madam Jha, who attended a few times physically initially, but subsequently probably she moved out of Delhi or whatever, and online she also attended. So our gratitude to you, Madam, and the family members whosoever is attending. Always it's desirable on the part of those who are in service and office to remember those who made and spend their lifetime to build institutions and sacrifice their time, efforts, and all that to give us this opportunity, this platform to further build and develop on issues. You have seen the number of policy briefs, 6 of them being released today, and 2 policy papers being released. And very importantly, agriculture development report being presented. So these are some of these which were possible because the platform is set, the whole environment has been built, and the contributions of Dr. Jha is immense. So remembering such stalwarts, legendary personnel, and their contributions to build not only institutions but also the future of many, at least some of them who are present here. And through generations of those, in fact, it's a continuum. I know he built, some people contributed to building, career of some, and they in turn build career of others, and the generations of those contributions are there always. So that way, remembering such people is always desirable, and it's a good thing And I must salute all of those who initiated this memorial lecture on Foundation Day to remember the stalwart and his contributions. And it's said that Shreya Puja, worshipping or praising or remembering, those superiors, seniors who contributed is a part of our culture. So we should really have this kind of traditions and immortalize those who made such contributions. On earlier occasions, several points I used to raise, and two of them, and this is one agriculture development report. Thanks to Dr. Suresh Pal, I'm very unhappy that he's not well, not keeping well. Very sad, but he initiated this. Thanks to him, and also the impact assessment. So you did something, and the initial document is there, but a long way to go. Mention was made that there is a network. Dr. Bithal said, and methodological issues are being addressed, and there are certainly issues there. But I believe a lot more can be done with regard to that. And there will be other aspects where you all initiated actions, and I'm sure the policy briefs and the policy papers and other documents which you are bringing out reflect those efforts in directions which the leadership spoke about, or otherwise in your best judgment you thought probably they would be useful for furthering the cause of Indian agriculture. So today, as it has been said, is not the occasion to give a long lecture, but to wish you all the very best so that you do better, reach newer heights as you go along. In recent times, you all know that there could be many other areas to develop. And Dr. Bithal and myself, we were discussing when I was, president of the National Academy of Agriculture Science. You were the editor. And we used to discuss on various issues, and we, in fact, initiated some of the brainstorming sessions on specific topics which we discussed to build policy documents. And some of them we worked together to build those documents. So they are all there, and believe you should be looking at those. What is there, what is not there, and I believe you will find several gaps. From the perspective of your, team areas and also expertise in terms of economic analysis. Since there are at times the technologists only involved, they may not be providing that kind of economic perspective to the policy making. And those policy papers might be lacking, and you can actually further build on to that. And so that was just one request I would make. That is possible to really look at those policy papers which have been already published by the National Academy, and then build further onto it and develop newer perspectives based on proper economic analysis. In recent times, that we had the sugar revolution. I kept telling earlier on occasions also, producing more than 10 million tons of additional sugar during past 7 years. Is a milestone, and the person who contributed to develop this variety CO230 got rewarded with Padma Shri last year, rather this year. So that is one. Mr. Harish Damodaran did some analysis of this, and this is published, and the reporter of Indian Express. And this needs an in-depth economic analysis and its impact assessment. We did some brief impact assessment through your document, you can see that. And, but then it requires, because country needs this, many lessons to learn from this, and how, this has also paved the way for the decision to divert sugarcane juice for bioethanol production. And it's a very good policy decision based on the technology intervention and its impact. So a lot more can be actually analyzed, and by collecting real data from the field and how the technology spread happened during this period, and replacing the old varieties to the tune of occupying more than 95% area in UP, and having 8 to 10 million tons of more sugar production and bioethanol production in addition to that, without sacrificing sugar production, and then substituting 10%, we are already E10 and moving in the direction of E20, and that's something which is highly significant. So this is one aspect I believe there's scope to really study this. We had pulses revolution, and we cannot have another goal coming from USDA to advise us that you write stories on your revolutions that you made yourself. We should be actually doing proper economic analysis on this. That another, from 16 million ton, we jumped to 26, 27 million tons of pulses. It's not a small achievement, and during past 6-7 years. So I would request that there should be Dr. Bittal, a proper analysis of this, and what were the drivers of this change in terms of policies, in terms of technology, in terms of other aspects and environmental contributions, positive environmental contributions of this, and in addition to economic aspects of it. So that could be many such stories, and I believe you'll have plenty of those things which you can really do. Now coming from my own organization now, the PPV&FRA. PPV&FRA is there for more than 16 years, 18 years now. So what is its impact? I don't think you would have ever thought about it, that the Union for Protection of Plant Varieties, the POP, instituted a study and published a report in 2005, and they studied the impact of crop variety protection in various countries, and 5 countries they analyzed. This is Argentina, China, Kenya, Poland, and Republic of Korea. And what is that plant protection, variety protection, in what way it has impacted? And it came out very clearly that because of this legislation and implementation of variety protection, there was enhanced activity with regard to variety development. New entities came up, and the breeding activities enhanced. New variety development increased, and it has impacted. And that's the story. That's the result report which is available with us. So, what is the impact of this PPV&FRA? If we close it down, whether it would have any impact, or we should continue, with this. The private impact on private breeding or public breeding, and what way, it's really doing. One's analysis, the Kenyan analysis revealed that there was impact on very significant one on public-private partnership building up in breeding, and also the farmers becoming breeders, private breeders in Kenyan situation. So for the sake of profit which is associated and returns associated with that. So there are some lessons to learn from this work, and I believe probably NIAP can really do some analysis, and if you wish, PPV&FRA can also sponsor your study and provide funds, some funds, whatever little possible, so that we have some analysis done. And recently, the PPV&FRA is also giving awards and honors to farmers, Gene Saver Awards and all that, 10 lakh to communities, every year, so including women, conservators of plant genetic resources, and very interesting one. So, but then what is the impact of this? What way it is promoting conservation of plant germ plasma? Whether there is any positive impact of this money which is being spent every year. So, if there could be some study in this regard, that would be quite useful to really substantiate why we are having these awards and whether they are good and how it is encouraging farmers and incentivizing plant variety development and protection, plant variety development particularly, and plant germplasm conservation, particularly in situ conservation by farmers, whether it is actually encouraging. So incentivization, whether helps or awards, whether it helps, and at the national level, there's some discussion on awards and whether we should continue having awards or not. So I think this should be very useful. So that could be other aspects, but I'll not take more time. So thank you, Dr. Bithal, for inviting me. And always, as I said, it's a learning experience, and I am enriched today. Go back more enriched. And thank you very much for inviting. Once again, congratulations for all that you have done. Tremendous achievement. And I'm sure there will be many more laurels for the institution and for the people who are managing institutions and who are building blocks of the institutions present here. For them, all the best, and wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your annual day remarks and blessings on the occasion, and also making us known about PPV&FRA and its potential impact, and also giving us opportunity to work on the impact of PPV&FRA and various awards and their impacts in the agriculture. Now we are having the time for chairman's remarks. We are honored that Dr. Himanshu Pathak, Secretary there and DG ICR, is here to bless us on this occasion. Sir has served as the director of NIAP.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohapatra, Dr. Joshi, Dr. Mrityunjay, Dr. Bithal, all my colleagues from ICAR, from one CG, another CG also, all the faculties, scientists, technical staff, of course, students, I can see some of you, and those who have joined online. First of all, let me congratulate NIAP for doing exceedingly well. Dr. Bithal, Council is proud of NIAP. Council is really proud. It is not only for the sake of saying, but in many occasions, whatever we quote for last 32 years, Council really takes the help of NIAP, earlier NIAP and now, on various occasions. Whenever I go to higher authorities and ask for some money, we also quote that 1 rupee investment in research gives this much. From where it comes, so all of you. So my congratulations again. And economists in general, they're very knowledgeable people. They're very nice people. And I'm saying it from my personal experience. My youngest brother is an economist from this school, Delhi School of Economics. And of course, I know many of you really knowledgeable. I think economics, probably the subject itself is a knowledgeable subject, starting from Adam Smith to Amartya Sen, whatever name you can take. And they've really contributed very significantly. On this particular occasion, Foundation Day, on behalf of Council, I congratulate each and every one of you, those who have been associated with this institute from the beginning and also now contributing directly or indirectly. So my good wishes, congratulations, also thanks from the Council to all of you. And today is again a very special day, as Dr. Jha Memorial Lecture was delivered by none other than Dr. Joshi. Of course, I will have to talk about Dr. Jha, then Joshi is also, even today, he is contributing and giving his best services for the Council in many ways. I can remember 2 or 3 committees in which very important, whether it is for reorganizing arm or even rationalizing ICF. So Dr. Joshi is there. And the Academy, NASH. So on its Foundation Day of 5th June, we are going to organize a panel discussion on the roadmap for India agriculture research, education and extension. And Dr. Joshi is again the convener of that particular panel discussion. So probably today he gave a glimpse of that panel discussion. That's what I thought. But then on that particular day, we are really going to learn a lot. Friends, you know, Government of India is having a very elaborate discussion on what India could be in 2047. The roadmap. And every department, every ministry has been given some responsibility to prepare that roadmap. So this panel discussion and direction. But one thing I always feel, though Dr. Joshi showed 5% and 50%, something like this. If country like India has to become a developed country, it cannot become a developed country without developing its agriculture. विकासशील भारत को और विकसित भारत बनना है तो कृषि को छोड़ के हो नहीं सकता, चाहे वो 5% हो, 15% हो, 25% हो, आज के दिन में 50%, वो 5 हर एक में लगा हुआ है, but then this is a must. And secondly, Indian agriculture cannot become a developed agriculture without developing its research, education and extension system. This is also must. And fortunately, this message has gone all through, starting from the bottom to the top. And they have also started some kind of rethinking, reorienting of their thoughts and resources. And we all need to take up that challenge of responsibility. But Bithal talked about that this institute will come up to expectation of the council. The expectations are very high, actually. Very, very high. Whenever we take a decision, immediately it comes in my mind, what is the policy? What was the policy? What should be? Whether technology comes first and then policy, or policy first or technology, that debate might continue. But certainly we need a policy. Even the direction on which Indian agriculture research, education, extension should go, we need a policy. Otherwise, you are not going to be sustainable in its political and social sense, not in its natural resource management sense. So policy is important, and we really need in every step a sound policy, and then the contribution of this institute. Very quickly, I shall mention what Council has been doing in one or two aspects. Yesterday only, sir, Dr. Joshi and Mohapatra and Trilochan, sir, we have uploaded 2 circulars, probably our scientists have gone through. One is aligning of the disciplines. Dr. Bithal talked that it is a small institute. Of course, it is small in number. But now what we are going to do is, whosoever economist sitting anywhere in the council will be somehow linked to institute like India. It is not so important whether somebody is sitting in Rice Institute or Wheat Institute or some engineering institute, but if he or she is economics or working on this area, they will be connected to this. And today again at 3 o'clock, we are going to address all the scientists of the whole council to deliberate on this particular issue. The second, again, the circular probably we have received yesterday only, and again we shall discuss it today. That is certifying or recognizing the technologies, products, concepts, something which was initiated by Dr. Mohapatra, and then we could come to a logical conclusion now. So whatever you are coming out, including policy papers and so on, concepts, models, whatever it is, should be at some point of time will be verified, will be certified, and will be publicized, reaching to the stakeholders. The third one is, of course, budget will always be constant. Even if it's a developed country like USA, you cannot say that you can get whatever you want. But there is some good news on the budget front also. Somehow the budget of ICAR has been increased compared to last year. It is around 19 to 20% more. Some additional budgets also we are going to get. Joshi talked about genome editing, so another 500 crore additional budget has been given to the council on that one. For millet, around 250 crores additional grant has been given. So there are some good things. But then what we are going to do, and again, we are going to discuss it today at 3 o'clock, about project-based budget. As you very rightly said, that we really need to delete or forget some of the routine kind of research which the council and our colleagues have been doing. So we are going to address upon that one also. So this is the third aspect. And of course, besides few other things, including your sizes, whatever will coming for rationalization and so on. So these are some of the things what council is doing besides many other things. But I'm sure we all are in the path of that roadmap for 2047. And we have to achieve. This is a challenge. This is a big dream. But again, this is a dream which must not be missed. We cannot afford of missing this deadline. We missed Millennium Development Goals. We are also little shortfall of SDGs, but this particular goal of 2047 must not be missed. And agriculture research, education and extension, ICAR, and of course, institute like yours will always be in the forefront of leading this whole mission. So once again, I congratulate all of you on Foundation Day. This is like our birthday. The birthday should be celebrated, in traditional ways in villages. By 2 or 3 ways they do it. In the morning, they take the blessings of all the seniors. And that's what we have done today. We call it going. And then, of course, you need to somehow think what you have done in last years and what you should be doing in the coming years. And that's what you are doing now, and during the next panel discussion also, you are going to deliberate on all of those things. But let me tell at the end, expectation of the Council and Government of India are very high. Very, very high. At every point we ask for policy. At every point we need inputs from. Yeah. And therefore, your job is challenging, but not impossible. Resources are there. Many more scientists may not be directly as a staff member of this institute, but some other ways will be there with you. And council is always with you. Whatever endeavor, whatever new path, new innovations, new directions you take, the council will be always with you. I wish you all success and the best wishes for each and every one of you and for this institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your appreciation of NIAP, blessings and remarks on this occasion and making us aware about the development at the council for achieving 2047 dream shown by Dr. Joshi. Thank you very much. I think Dr. Ramesh Chan, is he available online right now? No, he is not. Okay. Maybe he has not been able to join. So continuing our deliberations again, keeping our tradition, we would like to honor our chief guest today by presenting the shawl and memento. So first of all, I request DG ICR and chairperson of today's meeting to honor our chief guest with shawl and memento. I request the audience to join with a big hand. Present the shawl and memento to Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra ji, our guest of honor. Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji to honor our former director, Dr. Mrityunjay ji, with shawl and memento. Now I request our director, Dr. Pratap Singh Vittal ji, to honor the DG for chairing this session and joining us. Thank you very much, all of you. So now we have reached to the end of this session and we are immensely benefited by the presence of the dignitaries here. I would like to invite Dr. Akash Saxena, Principal Scientist NIAP, to present the formal vote of thanks and a couple of announcements.
Good morning to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I deem it a great privilege to have been asked to extend the formal vote of thanks on this special occasion. We are extremely grateful to Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. P.K. Joshi, former Director in IAP, former Director NAM, and former Director South Asia, for accepting our request to deliver the 16th Professor Dayanatha Jha Memorial Lecture. Sir, you have chosen highly relevant theme and highlighted a number of researchable issues on such an enlightening theme on innovation policy connect for inclusive and sustainable agriculture. You mentioned that a perfect symphony is required among innovation, policy, infrastructure, and institution to achieve the targets of developed agriculture, developed India in 2047. Entire agricultural fraternity in general and agricultural economics fraternity in particular would be greatly benefited from your innovative ideas, research perspectives, and policy solutions. At this juncture, sir, I would also like to mention that we are deeply indebted to you for your great motivation and inspiration to entire NIAP faculty. You have been a true mentor for us, and you can actually induce life in even an object. So your inspiration is truly remarkable. We are extremely grateful to Dr. Himanshu Pathak, sir, the Director General of Indian Council of Agriculture Research, for providing constant motivation, support to ICAR-NIAP, and providing such a vibrant leadership to Indian Council of Agricultural Research. Sir, in such a short span of time, you have networked entire scientific fraternity and leading to transformation of entire system. Sir, your efforts in connecting every dot in the entire system are actually unique. And these dots, when united together, will surely reshape the trajectory of agricultural research, education, and extension in the country. We express our hearty thanks to Dr. Trilochan Mohapatra, sir, for former Director General ICAR and Chairman PPV&FRA, for his unstinted support and guidance always. Sir, you have always encouraged your faculty to get new projects, new ideas, and leading the research in an innovative direction. You have accorded special status to ICAR-NIAP and extended all support to all of us. We are extremely grateful you for inspiration. This is a special occasion for all of us when we have our precious mentors and gurus with us. I, on behalf of entire NIAP family and entire fraternity of agricultural economics, extend sincere thanks to our former directors. We have Dr. Mrityunjay present here. It's a great, pleasant surprise for all of us. It's like this changing weather in this usual heat of May. So this is actually a great surprise for all of us. It's a pleasant surprise. And we shall definitely work on your vision for all of us that the best is yet to come. We shall always keep this philosophy in mind, and then we will work on this. We have Dr. Joshi with us. Professor Ramesh Chand is out of the country, but his blessings are always with us. We are actually missing Sureshpa sir physically on this occasion. He is unwell. We pray for his speedy recovery, and hopefully will. I trust that we shall all celebrate the next Foundation Day with him very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we remember Professor Dayanatha Jha a lot. He nurtured India from its infancy to childhood. We respect and love him from the core of our heart. He was a great leader and institution builder. We express our grateful thanks to his family on this special occasion. NIAP has always received special status, support, and encouragement. We are great Director Generals. We have online with us Dr. S.K. Chaudharyji, DDG NRM, and we are thankful to DDG Education, entire education division. We have Dr. Anil Rai with us. We gratefully acknowledge the support and motivation received from the council. We are extremely thankful to our colleagues from CG Institutes and neighboring institutes of ICR, and also many departments of Government of India for their gracious presence in the function. We have Dr. N.P. Singh, we have Dr. Ranjita, we have Dr. Brajesh Jha, we have Madam Alka Singh, Dr. Girish Jha, Dr. Lakshmi. So many colleagues are here. We are grateful to all distinguished professionals, academicians, and students who are live on social media and listening to our esteemed dignitaries and enlightened by their vision, thoughts, and ideas. I hope a number of issues can be integrated well in the research agenda. We gracefully acknowledge their presence. We are grateful to our own director, Dr. P.S. Pirthal, for his continuous guidance, encouragement, and support in organization of event in particular. But sir, your dedicated efforts are visible in the quality research output of the institute. We are actually grateful for your support and encouragement at all stages of our work. Thank you, sir. We are also thankful to entire NIAP faculty and staff. Our deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Rajni Jain, Dr. N.R. Kumar, Dr. Shiv Kumar, Dr. Khemchand, Dr. Aarti Ashok, Khaliramji, Mangalji, Navdeepji, Indrajitji, Irfanji, Deepak, and entire research support staff and everybody for their untiring logistic support in making this event successful. I take this opportunity to extend our most sincere thanks to our guest invitees from different institutions and destinations. At the end, I thank one and all for their gracious presence and patient listening. Wish you all a pleasant day, stay safe and stay healthy. I wish to invite all of you for a high tea and group photograph outside. And it is to kindly inform that we are organizing a panel discussion on ChatGPT and generative artificial intelligence after this session. We shall reassemble at 12:30 at the same venue and resume the session. Before this, we will have tea and group photograph. Thank you so much. Thank you.